What's going on, people? And in this video we are going to be doing a high versus low comparison, and what I mean by that is, as this is the Range Rover Vogue, and this is possibly the most expensive Range Rover that Land Rover retail, and this is the Range Rover Evoque, and this is the cheapest Range Rover that Land Rover retail. Now, of course, neither of these are brand new, but as you can see, they are around the same era. In fact, there's only 18 months or 2 years separating these two vehicles. So the standard of interior trim is solely different based on the level that you are paying for, and not because of technological advances or new interior styling. So it's going to be quite a good comparison. So visually, this is obviously a lot bigger than the other car. And I don't think anyone's watching this video trying to decide between the two, but I just thought it's quite interesting to see the differences between the two and how many cuts Land Rover has made, or how much more effort Land Rover has made when it comes to this vehicle. Now, one thing this vehicle has got is the black pack, which involves the black grille, the black letters, the black lower grills. It also gives it just that little bit better of a look. Now, immediately before you've even got into this car, you can already sense the amount of money that's been spent on this vehicle. It's a lovely, lovely vehicle. You unlock it, the mirrors fold out, the side steps come down, the panoramic roof reverts back. It's all there. It's doing so much stuff before you've even made your way into the vehicle. So like I've said, these side steps do come out when you open the vehicle, and it's going to take quite a while for a mere peasant like myself to not kick them with my shin, because I'm not used to stepping that far away from the vehicle before I get in. Of course, I don't need the side step. I'm not an old man, but I think you kind of need to use the side step in this, otherwise you've got quite a leap to get into the vehicle. So once I'm inside here, again, yeah, the quality absolutely oozes. The only thing I can compare this to, and the only vehicle that I've probably been in that is better quality than this, is a Rolls Royce, and that was on my wedding day. But this sort of plush leather feel, it's a very, very similar feel. Dread to think the amount of cows that have gone into making this, but there's a lot of leather everywhere. So a lot of this video, I'm exploring this vehicle as well, because I've never been in a vehicle quite like this. So in the middle here, we've got two cup holders, which is pretty standard. And in the back here, we seem to have a removable tray that leads to a refrigerated area, so you can keep your beverages cool on those long drives. You have a USB point and an aux point just in the middle here, with a switch that controls that refrigerator just sitting underneath. Lots of controls in the middle here. You can tell that although this is a premium Range Rover, the ride height's adjustable, you've got off-road settings, it's still got that capability in there, although it'd be quite interesting to see one of these off-road, because it is a big old unit. The seats have got adjustable armrests on the inside, just in case you didn't want to use the ginormous armrest that's shared in the middle. And everywhere you look, it's a premium material. If it's not leather, it's gloss black. If it's not gloss black, it's chrome. And usually in a vehicle, chrome's the most premium material in there. And here, the chrome seems to be the cheaper bit. The seats, again, I think very similar to the rest of the Range Rover range, except the leather just feels much softer. It feels much better quality. I'm not sure if it's a different leather selection or this vehicle in particular has had some treatment, but the leather is very, very supple and soft. Of course, the seats are adjustable in all angles. You can raise everything, lower everything, manipulate everything with just the buttons on the side here. And the media system is not only touchscreen, it's got touch buttons on the side as well, so you can quick navigate to certain areas, but then the screen itself is also touchscreen. We've also got the digital displays for the climate control on either side. I really like that in the Range Rover Velar, and it seems to have got its inspiration from the earlier stages of this vehicle. That is something that the Evoque does really miss out on. It's not got this display that just brings it on so much. And even if they made that central console in the Evoque gloss black, it just would have made the world of difference to that Evoque, but for some reason it's left with this plastic tacky feel. We do have a panoramic roof, but as well as that, the panoramic roof does open, which is quite a nice additional extra. I've not really seen a panoramic roof open like that before. Usually panoramic roofs are pretty static. I know in the Evoque they are, and I know in the Velar they are. But yeah, it opens and closes. I don't think we can open it and close it both ways, but we'll take a look nonetheless. No, so it's just the front panel that opens on that. We can also use the blind, cover up the panoramic roof if you want it a little bit darker in here or a little bit lighter. I'm going to leave that open as it's ideal for lighting situations for recording. You can also set that to do it on unlocking and locking the car, which I believe is really, really nice. On the doors here, you've got a very nice little secret cubby hole. I'm sure it's not a secret. It's a secret if you're me and you've never been in one of these before, but it's lovely. You've obviously got your bottom panel for storage, but then you've got your panel which is just one bit further up that's got a nice folding door on. I'm a big fan of that. It's utilising some space what is otherwise useless. So we've got two glove boxes here. We have one on the bottom and one on the top. They just operate with two button presses here. A really nice way of opening and closing them. You do have to close them manually though. I don't know what sort of peasants these people think we are, closing our own glove boxes. But yeah, they open on buttons, which is quite nice. So then in the back, the theme of quality just keeps on giving, and it is absolutely beautiful in here. The back here is no expense spared. I think most of you probably know that the Queen cuts about in the back of one of these. So if it's good enough for her, it's too good for me. Now again, we've got the digital displays for the adjustment of the climate control heated seats in the back here, electrically adjusted seats on the side, which, I mean, they recline. The Velour does this as well, but the Vogue does not do this. I like the way that the middle seatbelt buckle tucks away nicely in the middle there. You also have a fold down armrest, which is massive. That is huge. That's very nice. And if I were riding in the back here as an executive business person, I'd probably ride like that all the time. That is a lovely little armrest. We do have Isofix in the back here. It obviously wasn't that big of a priority for Range Rover when they fitted this, but Isofix is accessible. It's just between the top and the bottom cushion. And I think we've found the cheapest bit of plastic in this vehicle, and that is the backs of these seats. I mean, it's nowhere near as bad as the ones in the Vogue, but it doesn't seem to fit the theme of this vehicle terribly well. Even the inside of these pockets are cushioned. It is, of course, a very, very premium build. We've got two cigarette lighters down here and a little storage compartment, maybe for a phone. And surprisingly, there's only two vents back here. I would rather expect some vents just in the pillars here, just blowing back on the passengers, but they don't seem to exist. But yeah, there's absolutely more than enough leg room in here. I don't think vehicles get much bigger than this on the roads of today. Maybe if you go to America, you can get bigger vehicles than this, but loads of leg room, like absolutely loads, and that is set up for me in the front. So yeah, there's more than enough leg room for anyone in the back of this vehicle. And if you did happen to have three people riding in the back here, it definitely wouldn't be an uncomfortable three. It's definitely more comfortable as two, or even more comfortable as one, but three is perfectly adequate in here. Whereas I find some of the other cars, maybe like the Vogue, the Velour, even the Q7, three is just, it's not a squeeze, but it's not comfortable. Whereas this, I feel like you would be very, very comfortable as a three. So there's a very small storage area in the door that you'll probably fit just one normal bottle in there, and that combined with the storage on the back of the seat means that you're probably going to have more than enough for anything that you want to carry in the back here, and then you can get your recline on and relax. So the boot is of a two-stage opening system. You'll press the primary button here to open the top, and then you can load any luggage that you've got into the back here. And then you've also got another button here just to lower this tailgate for the additional seating area. Quite a nice touch is this fold panel here that covers all the gubbins just underneath here, and it allows you to have a nice seat on the back of your lovely, lovely Range Rover. Underneath here you have a massive spare wheel. That is a lot of storage space taken by this spare wheel, but it's definitely required for a vehicle of this size. I wouldn't want to go anywhere without a spare wheel on this, because if you had to buy one of these ad hoc, you'd be paying through the roof for it. But as you probably would have imagined, we have loads and loads of storage area at the back here, and quite a nice thing is you've got buttons that fold the seats from the back here, just in case your butler isn't around to put your seats down for you. So as always, first thing that seems to get me is just this overwhelming smell of leather. Now this is not a new car. This has got 20,000 miles on it. It's I think a 14 plate. It's reasonably old, but it's just that smell of leather. It's just, yeah, it's beautiful. It's crazy that we associate that with nice, actually. Dead cow. But yeah, it oozes quality, and I've got that association in my mind with something of exceptional quality, which is what it is. I mean, It's not an association, it's exactly what it is. And the road presence you get with this thing, I mean, this is not the colour of my choice. If I was to get one of these, this would probably be the last colour on the list. It's not by any means an ugly colour, it's just not my personal preference of colour. But still, this gets looks, and this thing has an overwhelming amount of road presence. And for the money, I don't think you can get a much more expensive looking car. I mean, like I said, the Queen rolls around in one. It's like, if the Queen rolls around in one, then it's a good car. And she pulls. She's got some go to her. Like, I don't want to go too fast on these roads because I am in a town and I definitely don't want to break the speed limit. But I don't mind getting to the speed limit a little bit quicker. And this thing does. And it is the size of a small boat. And Jesus Christ, that pulls. I'd be interested to know what the exact specs are of this. In fact, what I'll do is I'm going to research the exact specs of this and put it up on the screen right about now. And I bet you'll be surprised because that had some kick to it. The amount of electronics in this is absolutely phenomenal, and everything that you see is electrically controlled, right up until the buttons for the glove box. Like, there's no real requirement for those buttons to be electrically controlled. They could be a mechanical button. The buttons above it could be mechanically linked, but it's not. It's a tactile clicky button that has electronics inside it that then tells the mechanical lever in the glove box to open up. So like I say, everything had just got an electronic control to it, and I would hate to see the wiring schematics for this vehicle, or even worse, have to fault find some wiring in this vehicle, because I bet you there is a lot to look through. Now, I mean, it is a big car, but if you're used to driving a van, this is similar. I mean, I'm definitely over-egging this. This is nowhere near as tight as I'm making out. Was that double glazed? It's double glazed glass. Christ. I've lived in flats that don't have double glazing. Now, I normally don't do test drives this long in vehicles. It really takes a special vehicle to get me stuck in the seat. As soon as I get the feel for it, I'm back at Hamworthy Car Centre doing my debrief on the vehicle. But this thing is such a pleasure to drive, and it genuinely, if I had this as my daily driver, I would be excited to drive it every time I got behind the seat. I can't believe that it's taken me this long, because Hamworthy Car Centre always have cars just like this. It's probably their main stock. They love a Range Rover. It seems that they know what they're shopping for, and they get good quality stock in, because I guess if I were to own a car shop, I'd make sure that it were Volkswagens, because I just know what I'm looking for when it comes to Volkswagen Audi Group. And I can't believe it's taken me this long to test drive one of these. And like I said, when I first went around there, didn't give these a second look. Don't interest me. But now I understand. I understand why people buy these over and over again. And it is an absolutely glorious car. And there's another one over there. And the road presence on them, unbelievable. Do you think he's going to give me a wave like we're in Volkswagen Transporters? Oh, he gave me a slight nod. He gave me like an acknowledgement like, we're rich. But there were no wave. He's not as friendly as the Transporter owners. Oh, we're having a big off. We're having a big off. There's an X5 coming my way. It's a tight road. Get in with your tiny car. Now, a tiny bit of me really wants to take this off-road. The responsible part of me is not going to allow it. But let's see if we can get enough likes on this video and comments. See if we can convince Michael at Hamworthy Car Centre to let me take this truly bred off-road vehicle and use it for its intended purpose and take it off-road. So, I mean, What should we aim for? 200. If this video gets 200 likes, Michael should have to let me take this off-road. And I'm not saying I'm going to batter it on some green lanes. I'm saying we're going to utilise the four-wheel drive of this vehicle, if that is okay. So then that concludes the video on the Range Rover Evoque and the Range Rover Vogue. I believe that I may have not worn my heart on my sleeve about the Vogue, and the truth is I absolutely love it. It's beautiful, beautiful car. I wish I could one day own one. I'm a little bit disappointed that I've now driven this, because now getting back in my X6 is going to feel like a poverty wagon, but this is beautiful, and I'm so glad I got the opportunity to drive this and experience this. I appreciate that not many people are in the market and deciding between a Vogue and an Evoque, but as the prices of these Vogues come down and down, I mean, it's very possible to get these now for around £30,000, and the standard of vehicle what you're getting for £30,000 is absolutely sublime. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. If you have liked these vehicles or any other vehicles that you've seen on the forecourt, then you can find them at Hamworthy Car Centre. The link is down below. Other than that, guys, I'll catch you in the next video.